Good morning, YouTube. Hey, everyone out there in survival land. How you doing? Oh, they're frisky. Oh, look at that. Look at them go. Now, these things ignite really quick. See how quick I just barely touched that. Alright, YouTube, how you doing out there today? I hope you're doing well. It's been a little while since I made a video, and that's because I got some things going on at home. And a few of you out there know what I'm doing right now, but for the most of you, I will update you as I go along. But I do want to make a video today, and I want to make it a media day, and kind of interesting subjects I have today, and I just want to get right to it. I have several news articles here that I want to share with you. And this one here is from the Detroit Free Press, and this one is dated Monday, July 11th. And as you can see, it says prescription drug deaths soar in the state of Michigan. And you can see all these vials of drugs here. And here it says meds kill more than heroin and cocaine, and that is actually combined if you read the story. I'm just going to give you a Cliff Notes version right now. It says Michigan, like the nation, is experiencing a troubling increase in prescription drug abuse. Medicines for pain, hyperactivity, anxiety are triggering a rise in emergency hospital visits, overdose deaths, and treatment for addiction. In Michigan, more residents now die from prescription drug abuse than from heroin and cocaine combined. A federal registry shows in 2009, the latest year data available, 457 Michigan residents died from overdose of one or more prescription drugs, up from 409 in 2008. So, you know, it's no surprise that that's happening. As with all the medicines and all the vaccines, you know, pretty much the federal government and, you know, the people who make the vaccines, they pretty much, it's like Agenda 21 in a sense, okay? They're really not trying to combat this very well. They're trying to make a good showing of it, but they're not really doing what they could be doing. And, you know, they have a list here of some of the most common drugs, and that's the most common drug overdose is OxyContin. And the next is Vicodin, and then Dilaudid, and then Demerol, and then morphine, and then Valium, Xanax, and then Ritalin, Adderall, Concerta, and Dexedrine. Pretty much in that list is the from top to bottom, the overdoses. And you know what's really funny here is that you know, here they show what's going on, and you know, this orange line is the medicine list as far as overdoses and people who are dying. The blue here is cocaine, and the green here is heroin. And it doesn't really seem like as if, like I said, they're really trying to do anything about the drug overdoses, because the pharmaceutical companies are making money hand over fist. Okay, and that's actually the bottom line. You know, that really is. That is the bottom line. It's about making money, period. And let's face it, the war on drugs is a hoax anyway. I mean, come on, really, seriously. But what's really interesting is this here is about Michigan itself. And Michigan leads the nation, or is ahead of the nation, in every category except one, which is emergency room visits for the age 20 and under. This is the only category for deaths that Michigan doesn't lead in, and it's really interesting. It's a very, very interesting article. And, you know, I'm going to have some links underneath as well, so check those out. Now, here's another article from the USA Today. This was actually July 17th, 2011. And this is basically an article about the U.S.-Mexican border. And I rather found this interesting. You know, again, some cliff notes from out of this thing. It says, It is not secure and has never been more violent or dangerous than it is today. Anyone who lives down there will tell you that. Now, we get USA Today's version of it. That's not actually the case, according to a USA Today analyst that draws upon more than a decade of detailed crime data reported by more than 1,600 local law enforcement agencies in 4 states. What 4 states would that be? Well, let's find out here. Okay, let's pan through here real quick here. And now they've got the center section here. It says, crime rates don't match the rhetoric. And crime along the border up here. Okay? And down here it says, California border has never been safer. I just find it amazing. And then you see this line here. It says, in Arizona, falling crime rates don't quell the heated rhetoric. Falling crime rates? Are you serious? And it says here, on this one here, it says, in El Paso, the cartels can seem distant. You know, I am just amazed by this story. If you go through it and, you know, read all of this. But, again, some footnotes here. USA Today's finding, among the major findings, the murder rate for cities within 50 miles of the border was lower in nearly every year from 1998 to 2009. So what they're saying is that the murder rate continually went down, okay, compared with the respective state average. For example, California had its lowest murder rate during that time period in 2009. So they're saying that the crime rate has actually gone down according to the USA Today's report. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I find that just blowing me away. Okay, now, a little closer to home. Detroit's murder rate is rising. And I don't want to show this too much because this is a horrific story. I kind of want to hide the faces of the innocent here because the link will be underneath. Because I just want to touch on this story here. It's a absolutely horrific story. What happened is this 5-year-old girl was murdered, and then what the assailant did is they lit her body on fire. Okay, this is what goes on in Detroit. Okay, now if you guys remember, I made 2 videos a while back about the Super Bowl commercial about Detroit and Chrysler and M&M, and how Detroit was this fabulous city and how we make cars, and M&M, you know, was the spotlight of the video. I want to make something very clear. I did not spotlight that commercial on M&M. I get so much feedback about how dare you talk about M&M like this and that and so on and so forth. I'm not attacking M&M. I'm attacking the city of Detroit itself and Chrysler for lying about how great of a city Detroit is. Now the link that is going to be underneath is this one here that says 2011 on pace toward the most homicides per capita in a decade. And if you read the link, it clearly states that the murder rate and the violence rate is up 15% in the city of Detroit. Okay? And now, the one thing that I want to add to this is that Irving Magic Johnson has... He went to Michigan State. That was his college, okay? He proposed a business transaction here in the state of Michigan, okay? And he proposes that, you know, he wants to bring a lot of money to the state of Michigan. You know, Mayor Bing is really trying to push, you know, to get the state of Detroit, rather the city of Detroit going. You know, Magic Irving Johnson, you know, he wants to bring a lot of money to the city, you know, and the state. But how can we rebuild this city if we have things like this link that's going on, okay? The city of Detroit and the Police Officers Association have reached a tentative agreement that will freeze the wage of all Detroit police officers for the next 3 years. So for the next 3 years, Detroit police officers are not going to get a raise, and they also have to take a deduction in their pension plans. And any new officers that come to the city of Detroit will no longer be in the pension plan fund. They will be in the newly designed 401k fund. Okay? Now there's a big difference between a pension fund and a 401k fund. Okay, so this is stirring up a lot of questions because a lot of people are saying, how is it that officers are going to want to come to Detroit and work in Detroit if, number one, you're not going to get a raise for 3 years, and number two, you're no longer in the union pension, you have to depend on this 401k. Good points that they're making. You know, I don't see Detroit going in a positive motion. Murder is up tremendously, and I just don't get it all. I don't understand how people think this city is going to turn around. Okay, one more thing, or a couple more things I want to touch on. This one's going to be real quick and to the point. Again, Detroit Free Press, this actually came out today, 7/26/2011. Pain is still fresh in Michigan from the oil spill 1 year later. Difficult cleanup continues. Okay? One sentence only and I'm done with this article. It says, Marshall, Michigan, the oil is still there. Enough said. Don't need to say anything more except for this. There's a person on YouTube that has been doing an amazing job covering this oil spill. His name is John Bolenball. His link will be underneath. Go to his channel, sub this person. This guy has been doing an outstanding job putting his life on the line, putting his time on the line, and he has done an amazing job collecting footage, making videos, doing documentaries, because you got to remember, this oil spill is partly BP. It's Enbridge and BP, and they've done the exact same thing here in Michigan that they did in the Gulf of Mexico. Zero. They've done nothing. A year later, the oil is still there. Now, here's something else that I want to touch on real quick, and the video is almost done, so just hang on here 1 second. Okay, TLC is going to air a all-American Muslim reality show, and that's going to be coming this fall. TLC unveiled plans about a week ago for an upcoming reality TV series about Muslims living in the U.S. This all-American Muslim show will follow 5 Muslim families living here in Dearborn, Michigan, exploring their customs and celebrations, as well as the misconceptions, conflicts, and differences they face outside and inside of their own community. The cable channel said in a statement, Dearborn is a community in the Detroit metro area that boasts the country's largest Muslim population and is home to the largest mosque in North America. Okay? Now, let's get the big picture here, people. The United States is like the second mainland to the entire Mid-Eastern culture. Okay? This is like the second mainland. We have 15% increase of violence in Detroit. We have just a unbelievable amount of Muslims here, Mid-Easterners, okay? If there were to be a second revolution in this country, it would be pretty damn scary, I think, here in the state of Michigan. And I just want to finish on this thought here. I'm sure everyone has heard that the U.S. government ends Chrysler's investment with a $1.3 billion loss. Basically what happened was President Obama sold off Chrysler stocks, or, you know, Chrysler shares, whatever it is that they had. And because Obama sold them off, the White House took a $1.3 billion loss from that sale. I don't know why he did it. I'm sure that the White House is in a panic because they can't get the debt ceiling signed. That could be the reason. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great one. Check the links out underneath.